welcome back. We are here for another episode. It is season 6, episode 55. Happy Father's Day, ladies and gentlemen. We are honoring fathers tonight. Let me bring it down a little bit because I hear the loudness. We are honoring the fathers tonight. We don't do that enough. We don't acknowledge our black men. We don't give them the acknowledgement and the celebration that they deserve. The same way we celebrate our mothers, let's celebrate our fathers. Fathers will never be mothers. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there. I don't want to make it seem like we want to put them. I don't want to say they're not equal. Fathers are not mothers. However, fathers deserve to be celebrated the same way that mothers are celebrated on their holiday. And you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna kick it off. You know what time it is. It is Chitter Chatter time. You know. Chitter Chatter time. See you at 8. You know what time it is. It is Chitter Chatter time. You know. Chitter Chatter time. See you at 8. You know what time it is. It is Chitter Chatter time. Act like these are sign when y'all. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. This is Chitter Chatter season 6, episode 55. It is Father's Day, ladies and gentlemen. See, I'm just getting my Father's Day cards together. I had these all tucked away, but I forgot to put them on the table. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, first things first, we're going to mix on a drink. Let me go ahead and get my shot glasses out because the men are drinking tonight. And I actually have sodas that we're going to mix together because when men are drinking, men drink a little different than women drink. Most men like their drinks hardcore. I don't really know how they want their drinks tonight. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just get them some ice ready. We are drinking Maker's Mark. That's a man drink. But it's really just solid. If you know what you know, like I know, it's just a good drink. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and put the ice in the cup. When you're drinking the Maker's, you got to do good ice. It is season 6, ladies and gentlemen, and it is Father's Day. How many of y'all, I want to know how many of you, y'all, I'm from the South. How many of you celebrate your fathers the way you need to? Because we're speaking about it tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you can hear me over the ice. Ladies and gentlemen, it is also Juneteenth weekend. Father's Day week, Juneteenth week. And we're speaking about that because black fathers are the only fathers in the world, the absolute only father, because Juneteenth is only for black people. Juneteenth is a holiday actually Juneteenth was first. Father's Day was placed strategically, I believe, on Juneteenth week because, and most will say, why would people that don't care about a specific type of people even recognize a holiday? But let me keep it clear with you, ladies and gentlemen. If you were the type of person, like the type of people that these people that I'm referring to are, and you were looking for ways to strategically diminish a certain set of people, you would always keep in mind their holidays. Like, we think it's insignificant. We don't pay attention to it, and it don't matter to us. But you have to understand this situation the same way you understand an enemy. And if you don't understand your enemies, that's probably why you're losing. You have to know your enemy is always thinking and looking for ways to take you out. No matter how cute they make it look, no matter how sweet they make that pie, it's meant to kill you. The poison gotta taste sweet so that you eat it. Because if you don't eat it, you don't die. Come on, make it. You see where I'm going with this? So, if you are strategically trying to find a way to get a specific type of people to diminish the men of their community, you would place a holiday that is You would place a holiday that means something to them significantly, such as Father's Day, because Black fathers aren't really celebrated the way they need to be. They don't really get recognition the way they be. And a lot of Black fathers were ripped from their homes for so many reasons. Some of those reasons are personal. So it's not all the system. Some of you men are sorry, and I'm just going to keep it up. We're not going to make it seem like everybody is against the... We're not going to not make it seem like that, because that's true. Listen, this is a touchy topic, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm going to let the men come on in and tell you how they feel about it. But I want to know specifically, that's what we're going to jump into once we get everybody in here. I want to know specifically how you feel about Juneteenth being on Father's Day week, because Juneteenth was the day the slaves were freed. Of course, we're going to celebrate Juneteenth on that day. So if you wanted to diminish the men, take away a little record and take away a little of their acknowledgement, you place a day like Father's Day on Juneteenth. Mother's Day ain't on Juneteenth, and I guarantee you, if Mother's Day was on Juneteenth, we would have fought to change that. Why? Because our mothers deserve to be solely celebrated. And Black women would have showed out if they had to share their holiday with any other day. But what are Black men going to do? They might mention it every now and then. And the second they mention it, it's going to be a little conversation. You know what? Black fathers, da, 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 da. And most men, I'm only speaking from what I know in my experience, most men don't like to fight with y'all about that. So they're going to say a little something. And then as soon as it gets to throwing at them, and they get into too many altercations and too many arguments, they're going to never mind that conversation. But what you need to understand, the more you never mind somebody, the more you undermine their opinion, the more you disregard things that are important to them, they disappear. So we wondering why Black fathers don't step up and don't come around and don't say, listen, I ain't coming nowhere, y'all not celebrating me. Let's just keep it. I'm going ahead and pour these drinks, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody getting at least 2 shots. I'm going to say that. Don't put 2 shots in this cup. Grab you a soda off the table. Somebody please bring me a ginger ale when you come. All right. I don't make 2 shots up in here, so your drink's going to be real strong. Ooh. Built that on my phone. That ain't cool. Can't be doing that. Listen, now check him out, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? Spilled a little drink on my phone, and you gotta know me and my friends, we don't waste no liquor, so look, don't hold it. Charge it to the game, not my heart. Okay? If you watch it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in, this is Chitter Chatter Season 6, Episode 55, and we're speaking about it's Happy Father's Day. That's the topic. That's what we're speaking about. And I had to go ahead and give you the introduction to Juneteenth, because one thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, I'm blackity black. See, I got my nails? We're here. So I'm celebrating Juneteenth. I just find it funny that we had to share this holiday, because I was in the midst of planning out my Juneteenth weekend, and then I realized it was Father's Day weekend, and I also was trying to plan out some Father's Day things, and I'm like, dang, why would I even have to choose between the two? And only we have to do that. Let me tell you, a white man gonna wake up on Juneteenth, on the week of Juneteenth, and the only thing his kids are worried about is Father's Day. Asian, I don't want to get too deep, because I don't know how y'all feel about the names of the races and all of that, and I don't want to disrespect nobody. Black men are the only men that even have to worry about something else going on. I don't forget who got 2, who got 1. Okay, that one. Black men are the only men that have to worry about something else going on their holiday. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're speaking about. I'm going to make this one mine, because I don't think this one got 2, but it looked 1-ish. No, you know what? I put that one in that cup. Neither one of these have 2. They only have 1. So, ladies and gentlemen, now that I have the drinks poured, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in my first guest. Okay, gotta make sure I had that together, because I was late putting those on the table. I'm gonna bring in musician, entrepreneur, producer, production host, the host of the show the creator of the show put together on July 28th, Mr. Christopher Cowles. Come on in.
Hey, got your ginger ale right here.
Absolutely, thank you so much. And here's your drink.
Thank you.
And I want you to go ahead and tell everyone who you are, how they can get in contact with you, and what you do.
Man, my name is Chris Kyle. Like she said, I'm a producer, owner, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call musician as well. But to reach me, grab me on CK Music at Outlook, CK Music at Instagram. Reach me there. I have a whole bunch of events coming up for the summertime, especially ones you're going to be a part of. What we call Kickback and Vibe. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be nice.
Absolutely.
It's going to be so freaking awesome. I'm excited about it. We're amazing artists and talented. But outside of that, though, how you doing?
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, and that is Mr. Christopher Kyles. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in my second host, musician as well, because you go ahead and download his music, the host of FOH Podcast, Mr. Jarrell Boware. We're going to go ahead and add him to our stream. How you doing, Jarrell?
What's up? I'm good. How y'all doing?
Absolutely. Tell everyone who you are, how they can get in contact with you, and what you do.
All right, for sure. Jarrell Boware Boy, the second of the clan. You can catch me on Instagram, Boware Boy. I got some new. I'm probably about to finish up this next little project I'm working on probably by August, and we'll drop that and be back at it. That's probably gonna be my last. That's probably gonna be my last one. I'm getting to the background, more of the background shit than front line and everything. But it's gonna be nice though.
All right, we can't wait. We're waiting on it. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have our final guest, musical engineer, Mr. David Manigault. I didn't know. You know he's a nickname, right? You know what to call him.
Musicians in the house.
Absolutely, definitely. We got musicians all around, ladies and gentlemen. And these
got my name.
No, I just didn't know. Okay, yeah, that's my name. And ladies and gentlemen, tell everyone who you are, how they can get in contact with you, and what you do.
I mean, she told you who I am. I'm David Manigault. You get at me on Instagram at Gucci. At Gucci.
You know what I mean? Absolutely.
I'm about to the same thing.com.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, and these are my guests for tonight. All of these men are entrepreneurs and hardworking. All of these men, I just realized, you know what? I always strategically get some great guests. All of these men are musicians. So, they all work hard and put everything together. And all of these men are the most important thing for this topic. They're all great fathers. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Christopher Kyles, I want to start with you. Can you tell everyone how many children you have, what it means to you to be a father, and how your children changed you?
Wow. So I have two kids. One is actually 1.5 years old. The other one's 15 years old. That's a huge difference in gap. But long story short, man, my kids has made an impact in my life 100%. They definitely have influenced me and forced me to be better as a man and as a father. And I tell you, they've changed my life when it happened. So when I enjoy being a father, it's fun. It has its work come out, especially the 15-year-old boy. But it is fun because my baby girl made me smile all the time. So it is fun.
Absolutely, and that is so amazing. And one thing I forgot to do, ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know how I forgot. Before we get too deep into the questioning, let's go ahead and toast on in. Everybody lift your glasses. Here we go. Chitter time, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just now tuning in, it is season 6, episode 55, and we are speaking to the father. Did I give you? This is your card. Happy Father's Day, brother. This is your card, Mr. Christopher Kyles. Happy Father's Day. And you know what? I'm gonna have to send you one because we on virtual. But I want to make sure. I always want to make sure that I bless my guests when they come on. Mr. Jarrell Boware, same question. Tell everyone how many children you have, what being a father means to you, and how your children changed you.
I got 2 kids. I got 2 boys. Man, they changed me dramatically. Like, I think being a parent actually shows you it magnifies your flaws. Like, the shit I'm not really good at, it really shows you, like, what I'm saying, what you need to work on just as a person. So they changed me as far as like being aware, being more consistent with what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Just being as a person. They affected me in a positive way for sure. Just being active and being attentive and being all of that. Like, you got to be on point, man. Because we're not given the same set of rules as everybody else out here. So you got to. It's a different. set of rules you play with out here when you become responsible for somebody else's life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. Mr. Manigault, David, same question. How many children do you have? How does being a father, what does being a father mean to you? And how did your child, change you?
I mean, just the moment my daughter came like into this like world, like my whole life changed. Like the moment like I held her in my arms, like it just made me feel different. I can't really explain it. It's just like, I don't know, it's fatherly. You know what I mean? Over you, you know, like, I don't know. I really can't explain it, but I was into a lot, man. Like, just mentally, physically, like, in every other lead that you could possibly think of. And, like, the moment I changed, like, the moment I held her, like, the moment, like, I realized that I was responsible for another life other than my own to, you know, make the right decisions and have the right morals and values in life. Like, it just changed me. Like, I can't really explain.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is why this conversation is so important. Because what he just said is a very, very important thing that we don't even really take note of. We don't celebrate Black men being fathers as much, and it's such a big issue because you don't understand how a child can change a man. Same thing for a woman. But when we're always speaking about all the issues that our men have going on, all the negativity that they bring, the toxicity, all of that. You don't understand, some of them are dealing with psychological issues that their children most kind of like release them from. And a lot of men are withheld from their children. A lot of men are not able to be there for their children because of work. There are so many issues and situations that men have to deal with, especially Black men, when it comes to their children. A lot of them are jailed at extremely high rates. Back in the day, when they wanted to rip the Black man from the home, what they did was they created systems and situations that protected a woman and gave her financial stability if her man wasn't there. And for that reason, a lot of men were pushed out of their homes as well. Mr. Jarrell, we're going to begin with you in this question. How do you balance being a father up to and working, taking care of home or yourself and keeping everything sane? How do you manage that? Because sometimes it can get overwhelming.
It definitely can. I thank God for the spirit that I was born with. Like I look at things a little different from everybody else. Like stuff that people stress, I don't really care about. So it's a gift and a curse because there's times where I should care that I don't. So it's tough to balance, but I, thank God for FaceTime. I'm not. My job requires me to be gone a lot more now than I once was. I was like for the first when I started doing this 2 years ago, my son's 9. So like for the first 6 years, 7 years, I was there every day, all day, being active dad. But now my job requires me to travel. So it's a little bit harder because when I'm gone, they still got to go through life. You know what I'm saying? And FaceTime is cool, but you're not physically there. So mom has to do majority of the work while I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? So when I come back from doing these jobs and whatnot, I got them full time again, so she can relax, and then I'm full time dad again. The balance is a little, it's tough though, because like I said, I got two black sons, and it's a lot of shit that be going on out here, and I gotta explain to them, like, you want your kids to be kids as long as they can be kids, but like I said, we don't have the same rules, man. Like I gotta explain stuff to them different, and they gotta understand it. But
absolutely,
And
ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back with more questions for these great fathers, and we're celebrating them right after this commercial break.
And when you walk, just walk. You want everybody to see you because that's what you're there, your models. You are there to model whatever it is you have on. So you want them to see you. And the best way for them to see you is to have a good walk. 5, 6, 7, 8, walk. And what that does is it just teaches you how to walk easily.
Hold on, go back and turn. Here we go. There you go. Good job. Left foot. Get your head up. Watch.
Always start on the left foot. Give me my roses while I'm here. And you know why you got to give it to me while I'm living? Do you know why you got to give it to me while I'm living? Because I can't do nothing with them where I'm living. It's in the mind. Cultivate your mind to envision optimism. Condition your ears to listen real clear and free your mind from egoism.
See how the hair keeps turning? It's turning because you're not holding it. Hold it and do this. You did. So now let's show you. You did it. You got your turn. With your left finger, your thumb. There you go. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Keep doing it. Grab her. Do it again.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is Chitter Chatter, season 6, episode 55. Happy Father's Day. I am sitting here with some great, awesome fathers. And that commercial that you just saw, ladies and gentlemen, was speaking about our summer program that we have. It's actually going on right now, live and in effect, Monday through Thursday. We teach acting, modeling, poetry, hair braiding, and rap. We are getting these kids ready for the future. And a lot of kids are talented. Some aren't talented, but when they come to Black Girl Beauty Performing Arts School, they are highly talented, highly educated, and highly enthused. Enroll your students right now. Go on over to www.iamuniquia.com and register your kids for our summer program. The summer is almost up, so you only got a few more weeks to go ahead and get registered and jump on into these classes. It don't matter if you're there for a week, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You're going to learn a lot, because that's just how I do it. Here at Black Girl Beauty, ladies and gentlemen, I have my guests, Mr. David Manigault, Mr. Christopher Cowles, and Mr. Jarrell Bower. Great, awesome fathers, and we are speaking about it because we don't often celebrate our fathers. I want to give these men their roses right now, because right now they all have young kids, and you know, young kids, they show you love and they give you love, but you need to be celebrated in another atmosphere, in another way, because your kids love you by default. By default, because you're her dad. You're her dad. And kids love their dad. Like, you know, exactly. Kids that have never seen their dad love their dad. It's just something about it, because mom is normally the disciplinary. Mom normally make you do the stuff you don't want to do. Every time you get mad, even if you don't know, you be like, dang, I wish I had my dad so I could da-da-da-da-da-da. Something like that. Speaking of that, ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to my next question of the day. I'm again with you, Mr. Davis. Do you have friends? And I want all of you guys to answer this question, because I actually had a friend ask me, and we had a real conversation about it. Do you have friends that are not active fathers? Like, you see them around, you know they have kids, you never see them with their kids. Some of them only pop up on like holidays, and they take pictures and they say stuff like you know, my kid good, but you know for a fact they haven't seen their child in God knows when. If you have friends like that, or you know people like that, how do you handle them? Because you know that's the question that's been going around. Like, how do you talk to your no good dad friends?
I mean, I feel like everybody know right from wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially as grown people, especially if you call yourself a man, like you know right from wrong, man. You know when you're keeping it real with yourself, and let alone, you know, your loved one. You feel me? And loved ones got a way of letting you know anyway. You feel me? So like, yeah, man, with people I love, like I don't got no problem. Like, man, because I'm the type of guy, like, I got a good heart. So, you know, people come to me for help. You know what I mean? And if I'm helping you out, I want to know why I'm helping you out.
Right.
You know, I want to know why I'm helping you out. And, you know, like, I want to, you know, make sure I ain't got to help you out again. You know? More than anything, more than anything, because, like, it's not a mistake if you continue to make it. You know, so, like, with that being said, like,
so when they come to you, you're like, I'm trying to get to my that's
I
what
definitely like I, you know, like, yo, what's going on, bro? The little homies then like I was actually one of those kids that that like I felt like I missed my dad. You feel me? Like he was there to a certain extent, but for the most part, I felt like I missed him. I didn't have him around when I wanted him around. You feel me?
How did that affect you?
I mean,
I feel
like I'm cool, but I guess everybody. I feel like when you face those type of moments in life, you have some type of daddy issues. You feel me? Like no matter what it is, like one of my main issues, like I feel like is a daddy issue to me is like I never want my kid to feel like that. You feel me? Like I never want my kid to feel like yo, I want my pops and like he ain't riding for me like I want him to be riding for me or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like for instance, my daughter FaceTimed me last night. I was asleep. You know what I mean? I had to wake up early in the morning. I had an early day. I had to get started. Get my day started. work everything. You know what I mean? So I was asleep. And she felt some type of way. Like, she felt some type of way. She like, yo, why you didn't answer the phone? What's up? Like, you know what I mean? And if Sky low key disrespectful, like, I don't mean it like.
You gotta clarify for the viewer. Jokingly.
But she gonna say what she feel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And mean what she say. So, like, she like, hey, bro, like.
Why you ain't answer the phone?
Like, it's up when I see you.
Right. And Mr. Christopher House, really, same question. Do you have those friends that aren't active dads? Do you speak to them? And really, like, how does that go? Same question for you too, Jarrell. We're coming to you next.
Yeah, I can say I have one friend who was like that, and his reason why he wasn't like that was because that he had a lot of hurt in his life. And see, for him, his father wasn't there, so he wasn't there for his kid. And when he wasn't there for his kid, it became a generational trend. And I talked to him about that. I said, man, well, break that generational trend, man, and be with your son, because your son needs you. I don't want to have him with my son right now. Why not? Because I don't feel like I was ready. I said, well, you was ready when you actually, commenced the situation.
Let's take one sip to that, lady. You was ready when that went down.
You was ready.
We up a pen, ladies and gentlemen.
Nah, but for real, I told him, I had a conversation because at the end of the day, I told him, I said, you so focused on your feelings, your child needs you more.
Absolutely.
And I told him, I said, for you to heal, you have to be there for your kid. And it's a process. And after having a conversation with him about that, he was like, it took him about 2 months for I to realize I was speaking.
And that's 2 months too long.
Yeah, too long. Like, the kid is 6 years old by the He's 6 years old now. So he finally realized what he got to do, and, he understands the value of being there for your child, despite how you feel. And I told him, go to therapy. Get yourself together with that.
How you feel about that? The therapy.
Yeah.
Man, therapy for me personally is like I said in the last time I was here, is a good situation because it helps to basically unveil anything that could be in your mind, especially for musicians. We're gonna be speaking from the musician side. We have a lot of stress we deal with on a daily basis.
I'm just keeping it real. Like I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. I just never been in one personally. I just feel like
a lot of men haven't been even.
I don't know how to feel about it.
Haven't been introduced to the idea of therapy. That's why these conversations are important because we show each other that it's okay to step into therapy. And what were you saying, Mr. Christopher?
So basically, like after he understood the value of it, he finally decided to be back with his kid. But it took him a lot to realize that he had to get over that hurt inside his spirit first. Because most guys don't be around their kids because they're suffering from their own afflictions from the past.
Right.
And it can show itself even, it can be laying dormant and come out eventually over time about how they'll treat their kid. And believe me, right now with my kid, I told myself, I will always be there for my children, no matter what. No matter where I'm at, traveling, touring, whatever. Now I'm going to come back home and be there. No matter what it takes, because at the end of the day, my priority is my family.
Absolutely.
That's the mindset I keep. So yeah, man, I have a friend like that.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is so important that's why these conversations are so important. Because he actually gave me a different understanding of the situation. Because most men I know that I've had these conversations or encounters with, when they speak about about not having a dad, that was more motivation to be a better dad, like what you said. That was more motivation. But I've never heard a man say, you know what I'm saying, I'm not ready to be a dad because I got this, that, and that going on. That's why it's important for fellow dads and fellow men to have these conversations with each other, because men tell each other things that they wouldn't tell us. And they kind of more, you know, once you because I know, you first of all, we eavesdrop. Ladies, let me have a moment. Ladies, listen up. Ladies, listen up. If you ever want to find out what's going on with your man, please don't go read his text message with him and her and da-da-da-da-da. Go read the group chat, sis. Jump into the group chat.
Real men don't even got group chats. We don't
real men do.
We private.
No.
We don't
Real men are in the group chats with their homies, talking about the link ups, talking about what happened last night, talking about, dang, bro, that was crazy. He's trying to get you. He's trying to deter you from the group chat. Ladies, go check the group chat. Listen, let me tell you, because in the group chat, you're going to see how he really feel about those women in the text messages. And that's fact, bro. You know what? And round of applause for that. Look, listen, black men are faithful. Absolutely.
Black men don't cheat.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Say it loud.
Black men don't cheat. Hey, bro.
Yes,
Bro,
that's it. That's it.
Listen, this is why black fathers need to get together and have these conversations. They talk to each other. They say things to each other. Mr. Jarrell, do you have friends that are inactive fathers? How do you respond to them in those situations?
My closest circle, all good dads. But one of my closest homies I grew up with, he has 3 kids now. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but I explained a little bit of how the shit like really went south a little bit for me. He was active with the first one, semi-active with this. He was actually semi-active, but then he got to a point where, you know, I think he started dabbing in drugs and all that, but it got to the point where he had too many excuses on why he couldn't do anything for them and all this. There was too many excuses trying to help him find jobs and all this stuff. But every time you try to attempt to help, it's a rebuttal. It's always nah. And I got to the point where like, all right, bro, you got to figure it out then. And I got kind of distance because that type of shit don't fly with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I start going to think about like, you know, how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? As far as my dad was more of a homie than the actual like father. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that because you can't pick your parents. I be telling my homies all the time, you're born to who you're born into, and you can't pick that. You know what I'm saying? But it still ain't no excuse. So it was because he was one of my closest homies growing up with, but I had to distance myself because that was too much to accept. And you know, if I'm your homie, I'm gonna tell you. I don't have no problem. If you gonna tell me about myself, I can tell you about yourself, and I ain't gonna be like trying to fight you on some shit because we having a real conversation. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But, this is why. What you saying?
No, you got it.
Oh yes, this is why these conversations are so important, ladies and gentlemen, because that was a real question. One of my friends asked me when I told him about the episode that I was having. He was like, he's actually said that he wanted to get, shout out to Dion. He said he wanted to get on the show and ask, you know, he wanted me to have a dad on here that was an inactive father. And I told him I couldn't do that. Because first of all, no man would get on here knowing he's not a good dad and receive that conversation.
Trying to take all the accolades.
Like my real dad, like about like stuff like that. And I felt like he knew.
The thing about it is, I also have had conversations like that with my dad, and it's not that they don't know. It's more so as if they kind of like put it on the back burner. You know what I'm saying? That's the past. We're gonna get over that. We're gonna do better, and that's true, ladies and gentlemen. It's not to say that we can't get over the past, but not discussing it and acting like it never happened is what we can't do, because that's why it's a hard conversation, but it needs to be had, especially in our community, because like Dion was saying, you as a kid, you want to know why your dad wasn't there. You want to know what you did, because 9 times out of 10, if you were a child that had an inactive father, you think it's something you did. You want to know what it is that kept you away from me. And there are so many young black boys and black girls that feel like this. And some of the answers
I ain't gonna lie. Like, I felt like I was the shit. Like,
Family show.
no, all those aside, like, I felt
talk your shit.
I feel like, bro, like, why he, like, nah, I feel like, yo, he.
But that's
out.
also
like,
sometimes
everybody know I'm like.
That's a defense mechanism
like,
sometimes.
bro, like,
because when you sit back and so why do you think you have daddy issues?
I don't really. I told you what my only one is like not being like that nigga.
But but see, look how you talking about him. Sometimes, like,
he cool. He talking.
Yeah, but sometimes we kind of we talk in a way that and this is something that a lot of black men and women do. Sometimes we get that I don't care attitude because it kind of eases the situation. But in actuality, you really do care. And it really does affect you. And failure to acknowledge that is how we end up in certain situations reacting certain type of ways that we didn't know. And it's like, I don't know why I spazzed out like that. You spazzed out like that because you have issues similar to that you haven't dealt with. And here you are reliving it in a different atmosphere.
Man, you're trying to give us different issues, bro. Like no. I think that sometimes you spaz out just because something made you mad.
Well, why would you have such a temper like that? You don't think that had nothing to do with your temper?
You taking everything back to the dad? Like, you could take it back to anything. It could be your mom. It could be your grandma.
It could be
anybody.
It could be.
I mean, like,
but we're specifically speaking about fathers, and a lot. This is why I was saying I couldn't have a bad dad on here because we
tear his ass up,
especially when the situation is. But it's a emotional topic, ladies and gentlemen.
I can tell you right now, my biological dad was not there. Like, I had a stepdad later on in my life, but at the time, I didn't even know he was not my biological dad.
Take one step to the stepdads, ladies and gentlemen.
Till I was 18 years old.
One time for the steps.
I was so mad at my dad because the fact that I thought he was actually my dad, finally was my stepdad.
Oh,
later on. Let me ask you this, because this is even doper. Because bro's real dad was my stepdad.
Mine too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So we like, no, this is real shit.
Real shit.
Like,
Real shit.
Real dad was my stepdad.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, what's your perspective on that, bro?
And answer that question as soon as he finishes this question here.
Yeah.
1 second.
So basically, I was mad at my biological dad, right? And real talk, when I went to go find out he wasn't my dad, I was bitter and upset. I was pissed off. So long story short, man, I think at the age of 26, 27, I would have anger issues. I don't know why I had anger issues. I was just mad.
Exactly. Sometimes you don't know.
But at the same time, I went to counseling. I went to therapy church, you want to call it.
Where you gotta be meticulous about what you say.
Some folks like that. But long story short, though, I went there to have a conversation. They said, "What was missing in your childhood?" I said, "I didn't know." I mean, I had my dad around. I wish he was like a dad to me, but I was still mad. I don't know what's going on.
Like I said, kids love their dad, even if they never met him.
And then I finally met my dad. And for me to do one thing, someone told me something so strongly, man. I will never be able to receive the blessings or move forward in my life without forgiving those who hurt me. And that's I finally was able to go to my biological dad, and believe me, I wanted to knock him out.
We're going to take one step with that.
I did.
If you didn't have your dad, you had that moment.
Because I was pissed off. I was upset. But I said, you know what? I said, you know what, Dad, I appreciate you for not being here because you showed me how to be a man for my kid.
That's the energy that I was saying that motivated. Mr. Jarrell, the question that David was asking was, what was the question? That means you forgot it. It was more about
But nah, I basically
keep that in mind. He always remember the stuff that come out his mouth.
I basically said like that bro's actually real dad was my stepdad, like in his perspective on like
on that. Well, you know, as a child, man, you don't understand why relationships fall apart and why people move on and all that type of stuff. So when I got to the point where I asked, like I was older, I asked my dad, I was like, yo, why? You know, cause like I said, you a child. I asked him, I was like, yo, why did your relationship not work out with my mom? Like what happened? And he told me the honest truth, bro. Like you gotta respect shit, man. He told me, he said, look, man, I'm gonna tell you the truth. He said, I was young, I had a lot of money, and the bitches was on me. That's exactly how he said it, bro. That's exactly how he said it. So, look, and I had no choice but to respect it. So even with that, you know, that's my dad. I love him, and I'm always gonna love him. I'm always gonna ride for him. That was my dog. So even with that, like when the whole process of, you know, him remarrying Mr. Man, shout out Mr. Amanda, she's dope. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Mr. Amanda, man. I love her too. Even when that whole process, like that whole process, it was different, but it wasn't. Cause y'all was cool. So David was cool as a motherfucker. Nick was cool, you know what I'm saying? Vinzel, hey man, shout out Vinzel. Hey, Dave, yo, Dave has Vinzel wired up, bro, back in the gap. Like real shit. But that
yeah, we definitely had a ball growing up.
Yeah, definitely. So it wasn't bad, man.
Backflip 10 times in a row.
Yeah, you know, I used to be a Ninja Turtle, man. I was Michelangelo out there, dog.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna be right back after. Hold on, wait. This commercial break.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Ricky Rick. I was at the first Black Girl Beauty Business Girls Night, and let me tell you something. This was the best couple of hours I've spent in a really long time. There was a lot of wonderful women here. I learned a lot of things. I just want to say thank you to the Black Girl Beauty community, Miss Amanda, Yaniku Manigal. I really love you guys. Thank y'all so much. I'm gonna see y'all next time. Peace. Oh, feline. Don't forget the feline. Don't forget the feline.
Hi. Tonight was my first night with the BGB ladies, and I really enjoyed it. It was a great success. And next time y'all come see what we're doing.
Hey, my name is Tasha May, and I did my first night at Black Girls Beauty Community, and I would say that I loved it so much. I do have a business as well, my name Lux Limited Edition, and while I was here tonight, I had learned so much from the other women that was around me. It inspired me to think about a lot of different things, and I would say y'all might as well come on over and get this Black Girl Beauty going.
To thank Amanda for inviting me to her women's entrepreneur meeting. I enjoyed myself. I learned a lot, and hopefully I was able to drop a few nuggets for some of the younger women there and young entrepreneurs. I will see you next month. And again, I enjoy myself. Definitely the prayer. All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. The commercial that you just saw was speaking about our Meetup to Rise Up meetings, where we have local Black women business owners, and they come together and we sit and we network and we pick each other's brain and we share ideas and we build a bigger brand together. Because one thing about it, when Black women come together, listen, it's Black Man Night. We're speaking to the men. But when Black women come together, let's make it happen. Please join us on our Meetup to Rise Up once a month, every Friday night, which tomorrow night is the night. So if you're not already linked in, go ahead and jump on over to the website or jump on over to our Facebook group, Black Girl Beauty. Look us up and join so that you can come to our Meetup to Rise Up tomorrow night, whatever time the commercial just said, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're just now tuning in, this is Chitter Chatter Season 6, Episode 55. Happy Father's Day, ladies and gentlemen. We are honoring the fathers. I have my three great guests here. We have Mr. Jarrell Bower on virtual. We have Mr. Christopher Cowles and Mr. David Manigal, and we are drinking Maker's Mark tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're having a great time, and we're sharing experiences. And now, I have come to one of the most important questions of the night, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't often speak about how men feel when they're put on the back burner. One more thing. Mom, the back burner is like in the back of our minds. Whatever it is.
How we know we back there?
I'm about to tell you. You, ladies and gentlemen, you can tell this is my older brother.
I'm just saying.
We're online.
How we know we back there?
You can tell that you're not top priority for somebody by how they treat you.
What are you talking about? My top. Yeah, okay.
You can tell that you're not top priority for someone that treat you, by the way they acknowledge you, by the way they celebrate you. Which brings me to the next topic. This is my big brother, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'm so glad to have you.
Shout out D.
You can see how he's big brother on this show.
Shout out D.
Together. Like, actually, both of these are my big brothers. This is the oldest. It's the oldest brother I got. And to this day, I don't have a brother older than this one.
You trying to say, oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, and this was that he was one of those older brothers. Like, it's Father's Day. He was definitely like a dad, but he was definitely the older brother that wanted you to know he was older brother. Like, he was an older bully brother. He went around. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He was the brother that would come by and do stuff like that.
I could fight. So,
but so what? Listen. You see what's going on, ladies? And speaking of this, ladies and gentlemen, 21 days. I am 21 days in, no arguing. Virgo number.
She always be arguing. Every time I see her, it's an argument.
So for the last 21 days, what you're saying?
We was probably arguing like 20 minutes ago, bro.
Get out of here.
I'm
Listen,
just saying.
it's always one person to cheer you. Listen, it's always one person to cheer you for your challenge. I am 21 days. I'm not going to let you pull me into it. I'm 21 days into the no arguing challenge. But
I'm appalled.
that brings me to, listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is why they need their moment. They deserve to be celebrated. Laughing and joking, this is a good time. Black brothers and sisters coming together and being able to have moments like this. This is a blessing. Thank you, Miss Amanda, for giving us life.
Appreciate you.
She done came in on the line. I'm gonna let her come in a second. I told her she wasn't coming on tonight. It was just for the men. Thank you so much. We gonna take one sip of that. That's her son. That's her oldest child. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. He always goes too far. Big brother, listen, come on. Can we move forward? Ladies and gentlemen.
Talk about these kids.
Juneteenth is a national holiday. It is now officially a national holiday. We were asking for reparations and police reform, and we were asking to be treated like the humans instead of the animals that so many Black men and women have experienced being treated in the United States. But instead, we got a national holiday. And I'm not mad about it. I'm just not particularly happy about it. Because what the holiday does represent is that we have a reason to fight the way we fight. There's like, if it wasn't, why would we be celebrating our freedom on a separate day other than 4th of July? It was known that we deserve a day and a holiday just for us. However,
are you gonna wear your colors?
However, I'm wearing my colors. These are my colors.
No, your colors on Juneteenth.
Black is the color.
No, it's black. Any black, green.
I don't know about no other color but black.
I'm just telling you what the color
is. You
like,
talking about the Jamaican flag.
Somebody
he's about to bring out the
somebody said.
Okay, listen, pause. I'm going to have to go ahead and
those are the
colors.
I'm just saying, like, you know, 4th of July, they wear red, white, and blue.
But we're not doing that. Come on. Calm down. 5 seconds. Can we get 5 minutes? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. Juneteenth bring Black people together. It's hard to deal with your family, ladies and gentlemen, but you got to love on them. That's what Juneteenth is about. That's what we're speaking about. How do you, Mr. David Miller, I want to start with you. How do you feel about sharing your holiday with Juneteenth? Because Father's Day is basically a holiday to celebrate you. That's what I mean by on the back burner. Because if you were top priority, it would just be you. It would just be celebrating you and be thinking about nothing else. But you're also celebrating being Black on the same day. And not that that's not important, but how do you feel about sharing that particular holiday? No, you ain't got to do that.
I don't really care. I'm not worried about celebrating the holiday on another holiday. That's not like a big thing in my life. I don't know.
And ladies and gentlemen, like so many other Black men, that's how he feels. Like I said, when you're undermined so much and you're put in the back thought in the aftermath so long, sometimes you're not even bothered. You don't even feel it. You can't even acknowledge the idea that you're being put to the back. Because let me tell you something. Every Black person in the world is going to be celebrating Juneteenth. Only a few of us gonna be celebrating Father's Day. And those that had to choose between the two, most of them celebrate Juneteenth, and some of them split it on down. Because I got some friends, all of us got dads, and we all gonna be at the park. Mr. Jarrell Bower, how do you feel about sharing your holiday with Juneteenth?
I kind of feel like David to a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like,
The young generation, we're losing.
No. I mean, it's dope, but it's like, yeah, it's like,
they were slaves.
You got.
They didn't. First of all, they didn't have the holiday. Wasn't a holiday for our parents. It wasn't recognized. They were celebrating the 4th of July. Most of them didn't even know what Juneteenth was.
Yeah. I think
overall slavery. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is another conversation that Black people, not even just men, Black people need to have more often. We were enslaved way longer than we've been out of slavery. Let's just be clear. Slavery was not that long ago. Ruby Bridges.
We're still in
Ruby Bridges is 60 years old. That means, how old was she? 6? That means 50-something years ago, we were being kicked and spit on just to go to school. So let's not, this is why Juneteenth is important as well. We're not degrading Juneteenth. But why we can't even celebrate our dads without getting deep into the fact that we ain't even free yet. It's a double holiday. And we're going to get caught up.
But you make it our day.
Hold on, 1 second. Come on, pause 1 second. One person at a time. Some of us get so caught up in Black issues that we disregard the fathers. And that's what, that's why I said it was strategic. Because like you don't really care about that. And like you don't really care about that.
Yeah, so, but I like the acknowledgement though. I like the acknowledgement that the dads are going to get in of Juneteenth. So I like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not gonna make me feel like oh like it's Father's Day and Juneteenth.
And that's also your children are young right now. No, your children are young right now. But when your children get a little older and they have to choose between, like they probably don't even know what Juneteenth is, the severity of it right now. But when they get older, because me personally, I was in the process of planning out my Juneteenth weekend, and I realized it was Father's Day. But I was also had a whole.
But can I tell you something? Can I say something without you saying something?
Go ahead. Can I say something?
Nah, I mean it's Father's Day.
You right.
You ain't no father.
I'm gonna take a sip of that.
Please. You know what I mean? You make Juneteenth about like Father's Day is Father's Day. Like we not really looking at it like that. Like we not really looking. We don't care about Juneteenth.
You don't care about it like that.
I'm just telling you, if it's Father's Day, what day you think a real father's gonna celebrate? You think we're gonna be celebrating Juneteenth or Father's Day?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the point of the conversation.
I'm just saying we're not even acknowledging it. It's not even a thought to us. It's not. Matter of fact, we might celebrate both at the same time because the real fathers are we multitask for a living.
That's the point of the conversation. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that. So you're going to celebrate Father's Day because that's what's most important to you as a Black man, the fact that you have these kids and you love them. But the fact that your freedom and all the issues and all the rights that you have is disregarded. Mr. Christopher Cowles.
You know what I just thought about?
Same question.
Actually, I thought about something, and he got a point too. I just thought about something. I think the reason why now that Juneteenth falls on the Father's Day because they feel that Father's Day is not important in the Black community.
Exactly.
So they feel that because it's not important, they feel that, so, well, let's just give Black folks a holiday on that day while the white folks celebrate Father's Day. And because of that, they feel as if, like you said before, acknowledgement is fine. But I'm going to be real with you. The white folks feel that we don't like to acknowledge ourselves as fathers. So because of that, that's the reason why I see it like I see it now. They did it because there's no importance of the day. So it's crazy because I mean I agree with both my guys. I mean I agree with them 100%. But I also see what the strategy is. What she's saying too is that the strategy is that they don't feel like we care about it.
Absolutely.
And because they don't feel like we care about it, they want to give us a holiday on that day, so the white folks can care about the holiday.
Absolutely.
And it's sad because they look at us as a Black people as in we don't care about our fathers. They look at us like that. They look at us as if they don't care. The fathers don't care about their kids, so they're not there for their kids. Mm-hmm. But it's unfortunate because you got some dads they love the heck out of their kids.
Well, why should we care what white people think about how we feel about our kids?
Those are the people that make a lot of the rules.
I'm not worried about how anybody cares about how I parent my child. Like nobody. Like I don't even care about how my child cares about how I parent my child, because in all actuality, I'm trying to plant the right morals and values into my child, and most likely, most of the time, they're going to buck against it. You know what I mean? Because most of the time, it's not the fun thing to do. It's not the cool thing to do. Right. And I'm trying to teach her right from wrong and the right things to do. So when she faces these choices, when she get out in the world by herself, she'll basically make the right choice.
Right. We got to teach
and that's where I'm at. I don't care like other people's perspective about anything.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, it's all about my opinion and what I think is going to work for me.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? In life, like.
And ladies and gentlemen, we actually have a latecomer, but he is celebrity stylist, my barber, and so we're gonna definitely salute for that. Woo woo! Look at me. I said my barber. Okay, excuse me. That is celebrity barber. Excuse me, Mr. Sonny. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everyone how to get in contact with you, where they can find you.
All right, Sonny Moolah on the Exotic Cuts and Locks, 2965 Headland Drive, East Point, Georgia. My Instagram is SUNDUN or Exotic Cuts and Locks. You can spell it. I am a father too, and we definitely in the building.
Absolutely. Sonny is actually a great father. One of the greatest fathers that I know, which is why I had him on here. We're going to assume that's why he was late, because he was doing some dad stuff. Because he always that stuff. But right now we're speaking about you guys having to share Father's Day with Juneteenth. Like, how do you feel about that?
Wow. I'm glad it's a Juneteenth, though. I'm actually glad that it's actually a physical holiday on the calendar that's dedicated to Black people and African American. We all know that, you know, those of us that know the history know that we actually wasn't free. You know, we actually went through a whole lot of different laws, and a whole lot of different laws were put in place to hold us down, to keep us slaves. But just to have an actual one holiday that's for African Americans made me feel better, because I have been feeling the way about Cinco de Mayo and what's the Shamrocks one?
I don't be caring about none of them shit.
Me either.
Right.
Even as a kid, I was like, why Black people don't have a
I feel like every day is a holiday to me. Like, I'm gonna live every day like how I want to live it.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like in all
but I do feel good that at least one day. Now I'm like, but I still see you.
How do you know?
I think that the shit should be lit. Now, Father's Day, they asked me,
like, I ain't really acknowledging it on Father's Day. Like,
but the holiday is that.
But every year it's not gonna fall on Father's
Day. It does. Every year, I check the calendar. Every weekend. Father's Day is the third week.
But that's a blessing to us.
It's a blessing,
know why? Know why it's a blessing?
Maybe it might make
Father's Day.
It might make niggas be fathers.
Nah. Listen.
You're right.
Nah, y'all not thinking about it. Guess what? Every year on Father's Day, we got Monday off.
You right.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what? They say men are simple. This is why we have to celebrate them. It doesn't take much. You can really. That brings me, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, and they having to go off.
The Celtics about to win. Let's go, Boston.
Celtics about to get their ass whooped.
Let's go, Boston.
Warriors in 6.
Let's go.
Season 6, episode 54, and we ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, y'all, she not letting me in here. I gotta come in on my own.
So hold on.
You know, because she ain't even letting me in here. You know what I mean? I gotta bombard the show. Hey, Jarrell.
Hey, Mr. Amanda.
I love you.
We're
Love you
go
too.
ahead and we're gonna step into the poem of the day, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my
Black
God.
man, it's time to take your rightful place on your throne. Black man, every day I pray for you. I pray you're fully equipped for whatever life takes you through. The world is so tough and against you the day you escape the womb. You're depicted as a threat your first day breathing air on earth. Before you open your eyes, you're feared because so many know your worth. Black man, you are never unarmed. You were born with a fully loaded pistol, a melon shooting missile that shoots the most deadliest seed, a seed that carries his breed, regardless to the womb you select. Black man, you are so powerful, more powerful than the rest. In fact, that is the exact reason you are depicted as a threat. Black men love a black woman and make beautiful black babies. Stick around and raise those babies to be gentlemen and young ladies. Black men don't fall apart if the world begins to beat you down. Black man, it's okay to cry. You don't always have to wear a smile. Black men, don't rush your life. You won't miss what's meant for you. Black man, you are a king. It's time to do what kings do. Truth be told.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of Chitter Chatter. This is season 6, episode 55. Happy Father's Day. We have some great fathers here in attendance. We have Mr. Christopher Cowles. We have Mr. David Malagard, Mr. Jarrell Bower, Mr. Sun Dunn, my barber. And now Miss Amanda's going to come in from Mind Your Business. She said she wasn't coming on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I want to go ahead and point that out.
I mean, I had to come in here because, you know, first of all, the game's about to come on. So I'm letting you know I only got 5 minutes. 5 minutes because I was supposed to be on here already. So let me just say this. Congratulations to all the fathers who are here today. Thank you guys for coming to join Chitter Chatter. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure to see all you guys. And I kind of know most of you guys as a father. And I just want to say, you know, that I am so delighted, so happy, especially you, Jarrell, when I see you with those 2 boys. All the time, you had these boys all the time. And I just see you working so hard with these boys. David, I see you with Sky and I see how she interacts with you. See how she, you know, I remember when she was like 1 year old and David, you know, I don't know, you know, he used to ask us to step on his back, to crack his back. And one time I went to step on his back and she went off. Like she really went off because I was stepping on her daddy's back. And so I see how, and I was a daddy's girl. So I'm telling y'all, no offense to y'all, but I had the best dad in the whole wide world. You know, we all
not better than Sky.
That's right.
I had the best dad.
It was not better than Sky.
I know all y'all think y'all the best dad, but I had the best dad in the whole wide world. I just want to take the time to say happy Father's Day in heaven. I want to say happy Father's Day in heaven. But this is the question that I have for you guys. I got one question and I have to go for real because I have another call that I got to get on tonight. You
wasn't supposed to be asking no question.
So this is the question that I have. As a father, I know you guys have all had a point in your life where maybe things wasn't going exactly the way you wanted it, whether it was in a relationship or as a father, or maybe not seeing your child or fighting to get your child, or you might have wanted to do this with them and you might have had that challenge. What has been your biggest challenge or upset when it came to your children that may have either weakened you a little bit or made you check yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to change this situation because I don't ever want to experience that ever again? What was it?
You, since you were like a challenge that you had being a father that made you want to change so that you didn't have to repeat that challenge, because we all face challenges as a father. What was the challenge that you faced that made you Okay.
Accepting who they are versus who I wanted them to be.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So, what was it? I can't hear.
He said accepting who they are versus who he wanted them to be.
Oh, wow.
That's real.
Like for parents, when your kids grow up, you come to like a light bulb in your head, and then you realize a whole nother human being person. This is not the person that you changed diapers and gave macaroni and cheese.
Right.
To. This person got their own mind. And they
Miss
know
Amanda,
what they want to do.
listen,
whatever.
But you think that's better. You have to get to a point where you just have to start either supporting them or dealing with it, but they get to a point and you work for who they are. You gotta start learning. Like,
bro, you look like your dad with that hat on.
I felt like I wanted to work for who they are. I gave up on who I wanted to be. I said, okay, you're not academic. You're not going to college. You're not going. You want to do this.
Okay, so David, how do you answer that question? Or Jarrell, let's go to Jarrell. Jarrell, how would you answer that question?
1 second. So listen. Okay, hold on.
David,
same question. What was an obstacle that you had to face as a parent that made you decide that it was a challenging situation and it kind of changed you? When was that? Like the aha moment is kind of what it is. And I have one more question for you before you leave. The same question these men answered.
that was for you, Jarrell.
That was for me?
Yes, Jarrell, yes.
Man, a challenging point for me, I don't have no problem telling none of my challenging issues. I feel like I'm an open book. I tried to make a power move one time and I lost every single thing I had to my name, like everything except my car. So I was living out my car for a little bit, but during that particular time, I was still having to pay for daycare, still being. I only had one child at the time. I was still having to pay for daycare and, still be active, though my situation was all tore up. You know what I'm saying? So I had to look in the mirror because I put myself in a position. I ain't finna blame nobody for doing none of this shit. It's all me. I got to take sole responsibility.
They be looking for people to blame.
Quick. Because I ain't gonna lie, I've been that younger minded. I've done my fair share of that shit too. I'm not gonna lie, but you got to look in. Ultimately, you going to look in the mirror. And the mirror will tell you everything you got to know, and it's up to you to actually believe what you see. So I accepted full responsibility for the power move. I tried to make it, didn't work. Like I said, I lost everything, but I still didn't lose my sense of humor. Because if you ain't got no sense of humor when you going through one of these storms, man, motherfucker ready to jump off a roof. That's right. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I didn't lose that. I didn't lose, like, my foundation was still intact. I was still thankful. Every day you can be better than what you was before. So I didn't lose none of that. But I just looked in the mirror and I worked. I had to take everything day by day. You know what I'm saying? And eventually I got out of the situation, but I never wavered. Like, even as a dad, like I knew my son still needed me. He didn't care. Kids don't care about all that other shit. They just want you. They want you. They want their parent to be around and be active. Because everything else is just, it is what it is. That's when you really learn, like, unconditional love too. Because your kids going to love you unconditionally, especially if you always actively showing them love. So that's how I weathered that storm. It really put me in the perspective of not to take things for granted. I have to be strategic. I can't put myself in bad situations solely because a kid is a whole life is dependent upon me. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be better as far as making decisions and everything. And that's what put me on a different, thinking platform.
Chris, the same question.
Wow.
I would say my aha moment for my kids was letting my son, accepting that he's actually a teenager now, accepting that he's growing up, because for me, when he was younger, I used to always try to, be my baby boy. I'm like, since he was a baby, I always try to be on top of him, try to make sure he's good, but now he's 15, about to go to high school this fall. Accepting the fact to me that, okay, you know what, I gotta let him go. I gotta let him adventure himself. I gotta allow him to make his own mistakes.
Right.
I gotta allow him to go ahead and do his thing because, I at first I didn't realize that I was actually holding my son back as far as progress. And it's fine to be it's fine to be that father, to be there for your son, but I don't want to be micromanaging him too much.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to realize for myself.
Not micromanaging too much. Miss Amanda, you listening?
Not micromanaging, because at the same time he is going to be a grown man himself. Mm-hmm. And another aha moment was basically being there for my kids.
Right.
Because for me, when I do shows, I do events, I do concerts and stuff like that, not having that time to be there for my kids is very noticeable. Because when I come home, it'll be like a distant boy, as of, Dad, you're not here, or you're not around. You know, I need you around more. I need you around more. So for him and for my daughter, my aha moment also was being there for my kids, understanding that being there, regardless of how busy my schedule is priority. What I mentioned earlier is very priority. So that was my 2 aha moments.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is why these conversations are so important. Mr. David, same question. The question is, what was the, being a father, there are certain things that comes with the territory, and there are certain things you're going to have to go through. What was that moment where you felt like you were kind of overwhelmed as a father, and how did it change you?
Baby mama drama.
That's a good one.
That's a big one.
I mean,
that's a good one.
I mean, just anything that's. I mean, they can hear me. They can feel me. They most of them can feel me.
Oh, damn, you're nuts.
Baby mama, baby daddy drunk.
He ain't changed, Jarrell.
Hey, look.
Sorry.
Hey, he need his own segment.
Nah, sometimes like we just like a lot of situations. I mean, everybody's situation is different, first and foremost.
Absolutely.
So like we all go through different stuff with our with our baby mothers if we're not with them, or shit. Most of the time, even when we're with them, like I mean, that's one of the biggest issues. Like that it came to when the kids all right, we have a kid together. We have to be in each other's life for basically the rest of our life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wedding is after all of that.
Because not necessarily, but we share the kid together.
That's what I'm saying.
So you know what I mean?
Kids
the kid
y'all have to be together.
Not we're gonna have to
be around each other.
Yeah, co-parent or
but
see
even
each
after
other
co-parenting,
even when we don't want to, because most situations,
birthday parties,
not because most it's like when you're dealing with relationships, if you break up with the person who you involved with, you can walk away. You know what I mean, and never say nothing to her again, especially if it's a bad situation. But when you have a kid with the person, it's even if it's a bad situation, and most of the time it's a real bad situation because you had not only walked away from that person that you loved at one point, but you gotta walk away from that kid that you still love more than anything in the world. You know what I mean? So to walk away from that, it has to be a real bad situation. You feel me? So,
or an unbearable situation.
The game's on, Jarrell?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Also, more than he's talking about the moral, the physical part of dealing with it at the same way, but also aha moment is the laws that they put on.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Hold up,
because it ain't for us.
Right.
It ain't for us.
And when a child is born, until you get it legitimized.
That's what I'm saying, but only a man
has to be better equipped. Yeah, and I can be better equipped to take care of the kid. And she still gets
you realize
Jarrell, you gotta come to Atlanta. I'm going to get out.
Right.
I'm coming.
I'm gonna call you.
Okay.
I tried to call you. I don't have your number.
I'm gonna text it to you. I changed it.
Okay.
Uniqua.
I got a call I gotta take. I'm gonna. Okay.
Am I gonna be a crybaby or am I going?
Because you can't say nothing about it because you a man.
Right.
You can't say nothing about it. You gotta suck it up and figure some stuff out. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna let it go wrong because I ain't.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen to the men. Listen to the men tell you how they feel and what they experience. Because whether we agree or disagree, no matter how we feel, this is their truth. This is their life.
I heard a dope.
We're on our way out, ladies and gentlemen. So a few more. Wait. We're on our way out, ladies and gentlemen. We have a few more comments from our men, and we have one more question for Mr. Sonny that we want him to answer. Very important. Go ahead, Marie.
So I had a dope perspective from a woman one day, like it was on Instagram or TikTok or something. So the lady, she was basically on there. She was saying that, you know, she was having difficulties with her baby dads. Like, he couldn't get it right. He wasn't being the father for the kids. She had him with child support and whatnot. She had him on a lot of stuff. And financially, he wasn't built to deal with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? At the time, he didn't have a good enough job. He you know what I mean? She was taking most of his money. He was mad. He was angry. He was taking it out on this situation.
And that's a lot of men's story.
So she said one day she sat down and thought about it. Now, mind you, this is a video on TikTok or Instagram. It was on one of them. Right. You know what I mean? And she was like, she actually sat down and viewed it from his like perspective. Like, she showed empathy to the situation. You know what I mean? And when she did it, she started Googling stuff, Googling jobs for him, like stuff that he could do. You know what I mean? That would put him in a better position. You know what I mean?
She should have just took him off child support.
No.
That would have been the better solution.
No, I ain't finished. So once she did all that, she started doing her homework and all that. She took him off child support. She got him signed up for interviews with new jobs. She got his.
That's her boyfriend sleep.
No. This is no. See, this is the perspective.
It's slicker.
Hold on.
If you were my man, I would find you a dog.
All right, cool. Now, I mean, just hold on 1 second. So she got him signed up for a couple of jobs. He got a better job. He got everything. Mind you, she helped him out and all this. So she started noticing that he started coming around, being a father for the son, taking care of their kid, helping her out in situations because now he got the money.
Yeah, a lot of men don't show up because they're ashamed of not being able to provide.
Well, not even that. Well, now he got the money. Like now he has a better space. They both of them were in different relationships and living life, but they were able to communicate together and everything. They just had a better understanding. Like after that, she helped him out. She showed that she was willing to. It's not about how much she was willing to be a team player. You know what I mean?
And what did he do? What did he do?
No, she didn't have to do that.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
So everything that she did,
he just wasn't in a position at that time.
But everything that she did, right?
Make a long story short, she had
Mr. Sophisticated businessman because she pregnant.
Right. But listen, everything that you just described that she did for him, it seems very simple that he could do. He could have found his own job.
I'm just telling you their situation.
The only thing that I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. But there are a lot of men whose story that is. The only thing that I'm saying that she did that she should have done was take him off child support. Other than that, all that other stuff he could have did for himself. That's not correct. So hold on, wait. I'm telling you, I agree with you. It was a listen, ladies and gentlemen.
It was one I never seen before.
If that's your story, more power to you. But ladies, I'm not encouraging you to do that. Move around.
He probably was slow for real.
Okay.
They can't read it. Fill that resume shit out. But they still go with him because he's 6'5".
You gotta be able to read.
But he tall, so now you
Family, please excuse the men. They never give me that.
that.
Now look, before we leave out, we have one. This is an important question because actually a man asked me this question. It was something that I wanted to bring in, just really to get the men's perspective on it. Do you have friends that are inactive fathers? And if so, how do you respond to them or treat them? Like, do you ask them, bruh, what's up with you and your kid?
I actually don't have friends friends that's inactive fathers because that's kind of one of the things that a lot of my friendships are kind of based on. Like,
Right.
We all father, we all do this, we all do that. But I don't know if I'm gonna say what's up with the kids. Like that. If you ain't if you ain't bragging on him or he ain't in sports or something like that, or you ain't got him around. I mean, if
You
you
don't
want
want to talk about it.
yeah,
You don't want to talk
yeah,
about
if
it.
you want to go
You might be weird.
Because yo, these women crazy, and it don't be. I promise.
What is the first thing they say? The first thing they say.
You ain't got no kids, so you don't know. They be tripping like my girl never met my baby mom. But she don't like it. Cause she be tripping.
If you got supposed to get the kid on Friday, and our car broke down picking him up from whatever on Tuesday, and she needs an alternator, but you already paid your child support. Now she hits you like they want $120 for alternator. Like, I don't go with you. That's not my business. I paid. They said give me $325 a month, whatever the fuck the case is. I paid that. That's not my responsibility to pay your where your nigga at, whatever. Now big
But
on
they don't
Friday.
talk about that.
Now you done with it. You ain't give it to them. You ain't speak to them Wednesday, Thursday,
And
Friday.
now you can't talk to your
Now
kid.
Friday you call because it's your Friday. Phone ringing, voicemail.
And they know, and they know this effective because they know we like our kids.
And we got plans.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they know we got like flies.
On Saturday, we go to your football game. But now you don't want to answer the phone. He calling.
So you think that's the story for all the men who
If they don't give you for some men,
if they don't give her the money, the most problem is when you don't give them the money. And then
the
here's another
softer
thing.
you are, the deeper
Men
it
are
is.
not allowed to have.
ladies and gentlemen, what I will say is most good men have terrible baby moms.
I gotta
And
go watch the game.
most bad men
I gotta go watch the game. Chitter Chatter time. Appreciate it. Happy Friday.
And this is the worst thing about I always say about the system of breaking up when you have kids and all of this situation. Because when you are a father, right? You done been to court, they done told you that you gotta pay $700 a month for your kid. You gotta pay $1,300 for your rent, this, that, and third. You gotta do all this shit. And then you supposed to go get your kid that look just like her. Go through that.
Not
And
just like her.
Like that is the strongest thing that nobody ever worked. Like, you supposed to be the same person after they rape you. After they rape you for everything, took your
men always
took
think
your license.
everything's taken.
They don't took your license. They don't put you in the red. They don't started
That's
you
why she
off.
could keep her, man.
All this stuff. Then you be like,
It's cheaper to keep her.
Cheaper to keep them every
That's
year.
the smartest thing. That's I see what happens is we start having sex before we keep them. But
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of the episode. You see how the men get carried away when we get talking. Give them an inch, they take a mile. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great episode. This is Chitter Season 6, Episode 55. I want to give another super thank you to the fathers that I have online. Mr. Jarrell Bower, go ahead and tell everyone how they can get in contact with you, what's your name, what you do, and one row rundown.
Instagram, songwriter, producer, comedian, jack of all trades, Bower Boy. Instagram.
Ladies and gentlemen, we also have Mr. David Managard, musical engineer. He's on his way out. You can follow him at Bucci, BO0CHI. He's on his way out, as you can hear. We also have Mr. Chris. Sorry.
You can catch me on IG on CK Music IG. Got upcoming events coming up. Follow me there. And it comes broken.
Boston is 7.
Yeah, all right. It's over tonight.
Ladies and
Boston
gentlemen,
is 7.
It's over tonight, bro.
Undone. Go ahead and tell everyone how to get in contact with you one more time. This is my barber, ladies and gentlemen.
At Sundone on Instagram, SUNDUN. That's SUNDUN. At Sundone. Exotic Cuts and Locks. That's my barbershop.
Absolutely. I'm getting my locks real
Southwest
soon.
side. You know what I'm saying? Like Green Bay Mall, you know the area. It's always a pleasure to be a guest host on the Chitter Chatter.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had a great night. It's been a plum-pleasing pleasure. Next episode 56, is appreciation. And we are acknowledging and celebrating a special guest. I can't tell you because I don't want Miss Amanda to know just yet. I'm surprising her with a special guest that we are honoring and celebrating, because one thing about it, when people show up for you, you have to show appreciation. Let people know that they're appreciated. Let people know that you have received what they have been trying to give you. And that's what we are doing next week. It's Father's Day weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Celebrate your dads. It's Juneteenth weekend. Celebrate being Black, happy, and free. That is what we are here for to do, ladies and gentlemen. We have had some great fathers on here. We don't often celebrate our Black fathers, but we got to hear how they felt. We got to see their perspective. We got to really feel how some of them felt in certain situations. And that is important, because the only way for us to grow is to learn and to understand each other. And before we leave, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a special shout out to Mr. Xavier Tolliver, ex-boxer. He's one of the greatest fathers that I know. Shout out to you for always being an amazing dad. I'm so happy and thankful that I have grown to know you and that you have been a part of my life. It's so amazing when you have great men around and they show you that you matter, they show you that you care, and they make being a child awesome, because knowing that you're protected and knowing that you have a father in life. Also, Mr. Vincent Bower, greatest stepdad that I ever had. I'm going to shout that out. We have grown, and it is so amazing to know beautiful Black men in your life. A lot of women can't say that they have been protected by Black men, but I can let you know right now, I have. I have my big brother on here, my other big brother that I'm showed out. You've seen the oldest one. And I have my barber, and I have the creator of the show on July 28th.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the creator. We are performing Kick Back and Vibe. Be on time. Yes. Do not be late. Be sure that you catch us. Woo! The boomerang. You know you gotta catch the boomerang. Be sure that you catch us live performing. And I am up first. I can't say that enough. I'm up first. So do not be late. Be on time and do not miss this show. This is Unique with Man of God here on Chitter Chatter, Season 6, Episode 55. Tune in next Thursday at 8 p.m. You see we've been running over, but the show been getting so good, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, we are showing appreciation to a special guest. Be sure to tune in so that you can see who the